Hi everyone, it's Christina from Christina Creates, and today I'm going to do a little bit of indigo tie-dyeing, but mainly what I wanted to do was break this down into half or a quarter of the lot because I don't want to do a whole big massive batch. So what is in the little box here is 20 grams. So this is by Jaguar. And it's just called the Indigo tie-dye kit. And so it comes with some nitrile gloves. It's got instructions which are really pretty easy. So we've got 2 isoprene sticks, different size elastic bands, 20 grams of indigo, 2 bits of balsa wood, soda ash, so 100 grams, and 50 grams of hydro. So I'm going to work out, let's work out a quarter. So it says 15.14 litres of warm tap water divided by 4. 20 grams of indigo, so that'll be 3.785. Then we've got 100 gram soda ash, so that's going to be down to 25, sorry. And then we've got 50 grams hydro, so that's going to be 10.25 grams. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the water, so it has to be warm tap water, so 3.785 litres. So I've done as close an estimate as possible. My jug only has, oh you can't really see, it has half litres and litres, so I didn't have exact markings, but I've done as close, and this is going to be well and truly more than enough. I could have actually got it down to 1/8. Okay, so the indigo. Okay, I haven't done this before, so for anyone else who's done indigo dyeing, you probably know that the smell is a particular smell. It's quite earthy. Very nice. Okay, hydro. So let's do the soda ash first. And what I'll do with these bags is put them into a plastic container with a lid. Alright, so let's get back to 0. And we want soda ash, we want 25 grams. Okay. Hydro is a reducing agent. And we need 10.25. Right, that's going to be a rough estimate of the 0.25. All right, so they're all in. Now, it says to stir in one direction and then the other direction. Now I'm just going to go and do the rest of this outside. I should have been doing it outside, but it's very windy. Now while that's sitting outside with a lid on for 10 minutes or 15 minutes to half an hour, just soaking up, I can get all my little bits and pieces ready. So I've got my tub with all my bits in, some scissors, Got the elastic bands, icy pole sticks, got a skewer, got the balsa woods. Now for the most part, these bits of lace are just going to be free floating, dunked in. Some of these I might dunk in half. I'm going to think about that at the time. A lot of these are little scraps, so I mean, to me this is the play part. What can you do? How interesting can you make them? And you, of course, I guess the more experience you get, the more you can play with it, because you'll go, oh, I know that worked last time. I'm just going to make little bundles out of these. So it's just basically rolled up with an elastic band. Just folded this one. Now one of these had, I think this one I'll just do solid because someone's cut a dress pattern out of it. Same with things like that. Thick elastic band might make quite an interesting. Let's mix it up a bit. Right, so that's going to be long ways. Put a bit of this on here like that. I do want to have some of these that are just straight indigo, and then I want to have a play with a bit of bleach on them once they're dry, washed and dried. Right, that's just a little parcel. No idea how that's going to come out. We've got these sorts of ones. So it's just a square of balsa wood. Just going to wrap it and then put some elastic band around. Like that. Another one at this end. So I've also got a bit of this, and I'm just going to put it in just a bit like that, just to see what happens, because this is probably not going to change colour, but I want to see how this dyes. So I've got quite a lot of it. I can put it in a bit later. So the dye batch, I'll do some now, wash them and dry them today, and then I will be able to still use the batch that I've got there for the next 3 days. And there's plenty there, so it's going to last a long time. So what happens if I roll it on a skewer? And have elastic band in the middle of that. Some of these sorts are quite thick. I don't think I would do anything other than just put them in. A lot of this will be, how did that dye, how does it look? So this is a first run, so anything could happen. This might be nice rolled up. Try and get a line down the middle. Or a couple of lines. Maybe it needs to be a bit tighter. Alright, so these bits of old tablecloth. Now I've got quite a long line of this, so I definitely thought with this I wanted to do something maybe like this. fold that over and see what happens with this one when it comes out. Maybe I'll do one the other way. Okay. This is a bit of, it was around a packaging, but it's actually material, and it's got this great pattern in, but it's already got this fold in it from the packaging, so I think I'll enhance that with a elastic band in the middle there. And let's just have a little play and fold it a little bit more to hold it together. Of course, no idea how any of these little parcels are going to come out. I don't know if I want to do anything other than just straight indigo dye this, because I'll cut up bits for that. I've got this bit of ticking. What would happen if I put a couple together and do like a traditional tie-dye design, which is when you had the little top bit and you scrunched it up from the middle. Did that make sense? Did you see what I did? I'll show you just in case I didn't make sense. You pull it from the middle and it's like a little handkerchief. I'm not being very adventurous at the moment. I'm going to stop the video and just have a little hunt out through some of my stash and see what I come up with. I found a jigsaw scone cutter or biscuit cutter that I've been using for painting. This was off my saucepan, and this was a plate for my front of door key safe that didn't get used or wasn't necessary or wasn't needed. So what if I do this? Of course, this is experimental. Anything can happen. Alright, so this is a nice, lovely bit of cheesecloth, medium weight. Got a bit of silk now. I wasn't quite sure how this would take, the indigo, so this is another experiment. Maybe I'll just do a couple of the standard ring type of things. So I've done 3, and now I'm just doing 1 at the base. Technically there should be some rings when this is dyed. Okay, so I've got quite a lot more in my tub, and I will work through it slowly off camera and come back when I'm putting them all in. I mean, things like this, I just intend to put in as it is. Okay, so my pile is getting bigger. I'm going to do a concertina fold for this one, because it's a reasonably big, it's like a damask. Fold it in half. Now, this might give some interesting lines over the whole thing because it's quite a larger piece. Alright, I've got this, which is, I'm not quite sure how that's going to dye, so I might just put this in as it is. I've got to still use these. What will I do it? I'll do it on something that's slightly patterned, but a solid, just one white like that. I'll do it in the middle, roll it up, parcel, make a little parcel and tie it together. another parcel, and what have I got left? I've got my jigsaw. So similar, I want a larger. I want to see how the sari silk dyes. I was going to have a look how these old stocking things dyed. What else is in my bag of tricks? So this is a bit of old pillowcase. Let's have a look what happens with the jigsaw with this. So I'm just kind of tucking one end in and folding it, roll it, fold it. Okay. Now I was thinking this is quite a decent size, so if I do this here and do a couple of these here. The other thing I haven't used yet that a lot of people might use with tie-dyeing is some string. Oh yeah, I found this in my stash and I thought I'll chuck that in and just see what happens. String, that's what other people use. What's this? Okay, so this is a bit of old seaming from a shirt. So, what if I roll this up a bit? And tie it with this. Now, that means that this seaming will have some indigo dye too, but where it's tied it might be orange still. We have to wait and see. Okay, so I want to tie another bit. So many varieties of things are happening here, and I think I'm ready to put them all into the vat. Oh yes, that's right. I was also going to just see what happened with the owls on this and the batting. So that's probably enough for now. And a little bit of blue. Just have to put a little bit of this blue in, which I hadn't shown you before. It was an old shirt that was no good anymore, but it's like a embroidery on glaze. But it's actually quite, it's a beautiful soft cotton, but these parts are quite thick. So I also want to see how that comes up because the pattern will be there still. Now what I've got here is my vat of dye. Now there is a scum, I don't know if you can see it really well. There's a little bit of a scum of bubbles on the top which I am just taking off and just putting off to the side in a container. So that is now ready, the dye vat is ready to go. I've got a tub of water, so the idea is to wet them thoroughly. And then to put it into the dye vat. So it can be in here for 1 to several minutes. So I'm going to opt to put as many as I can, many bits in, and then take them all out at the same time. So just going to give them a little zhuzh around. Oh, that smell, I actually quite like it. I don't know if people hate it, but I quite like it. I'll just move this. I've put it on an old towel so I don't care if the dye goes onto it. So I'm just going to move that over a bit. Put some of the just single bits and pieces without anything. I'm going to put the ones that are tied up quite tight in for a few extra minutes. Right, so what I'm noticing with this is that all of it might not get wet. Well, the silver certainly won't. Dunk that in. parcel. These are all individual pieces. It looks like it's soaked through the whole of the material now. That's going to go in. The owls. Stick the owls in there, see what happens. Right, so the batting is wool, so it might really soak up that indigo, so we'll see how it looks. Just straight pieces. Now I'm just using an old wooden fork. It's just got the spokes on the top. I don't use it for really much of anything in the kitchen, so that is now my official indigo dyeing stick. This has got the jigsaw piece. The middle may actually have a little bit too much water in, so that might make it a difference in the tone. Of course, all the different materials will make different tones. If anyone has not seen or done any indigo dyeing, they do come out looking quite green until the air oxidises them. Let's see how this goes. May or may not work. It's looking like some of it will. So I think I've probably got just the right amount that is not going to oversaturate this batch. What else? I just wanted to put this cheesecloth and this satin just in this one batch. Squeeze them out, chuck them in. Okay, at the end of my little pile that I made, and yeah, just a really good amount. Poke that in a little bit more, just to make sure that the top of that pattern is covered. Okay, nice bits. Definitely full enough, so that's definitely the right amount. Alright, so 1 to several minutes, oh that's fallen in, okay, well that's what it wants. 1 to 7 minutes. Alright, so I can leave some in or do them twice for darker shades. Just reading the little instruction leaflet. 20 minutes it needs to oxidise for. So I am going to just get rid of the soap scum rag, leave them there for a second, just so they soak it right in. This is what I'm going to put them in. It's from a slow cooker or a magic pot, and it's got a little chip in the bottom from the non-stick surface, and I bought a stainless steel one to replace it, so this is now a spare for me. So what I'm going to do is put these into here, and then assess as we go. So that's okay, I don't want that super dark. So it's going to be interesting to see how things come out. So the idea of getting them out now is so that they can have 20 minutes to oxidise in the air. I'm just going to decide with the ones with the elastic bands on, I might just leave for a bit longer and then undo them and then hang them up. Right. That's very pale, that one. It's nice, I like it. So I'm not quite sure, I might have to undo them and hang them up and then use my camera outside, take a photo of how they look. So this silk has taken quite well and it's a beautiful shiny colour. Alright, I'm back and I have just wanted to show you the pile and a few of the varieties of things that are in this tutorial of the end results. I have washed them. I've only dipped them once. You can dip them, if I wanted this darker I could have dipped it a few more times, but I've washed them all in cold water, then I've soaked them in vinegar, and then I've given them a very, very simple wash on a wool wash cycle, so cold water again, but just with a little bit of a eucalyptus wool wash. And then I've stuck them in the dryer, so I didn't hang them up or anything. Obviously, the more you wash indigo, it's like jeans, the more you wash them, the more they fade. But for using this stuff for slow stitch projects, it's not likely that they're going to be washed a lot. So I just wanted to show you a couple of my favourite bits. So this was a beautiful soft cotton, got this, and also a couple of the variations that you can get in colours. So this is a very, see that's seems warmer to that, and that's darker, and the back's even more dark. So all the variations you can get are amazing. Selvage edge, embroidery anglaise with this is the scrunched background pattern. This has come out like ticking. It's come out a little bit like a flower. And this embroidery anglaise is dark, and this one that was wrapped up with an elastic band around it has come up with lines and quite a bit of texture. Just want to show you. Oh, I will do on my Journal of Stitchery. I'm going to do a whole playthrough of the whole lot, but I'm just for this tutorial. I didn't want to make it too long. So this was the one with that yellow and white, and I wasn't quite sure if this would dye. So this is actually how it's come up, and it's like a tulle or something, but I'll iron it and it will be flatter. So there you go. Just thinking, oh, and the batting. Maybe I'll just show the batting. But yes, you can see my Journal of Stitchery August, the first one in August with the snowflake prompt, and I'll go through all of these. So this is the batting. It did come out incredibly dark out of the bath, but as soon as I rinsed it, it lost a lot of the darkness. So there you are. Hope you enjoy that and have a bit of fun. Go off and do your own dye process and make some indigo dye tie-dyes and prints and bits and pieces for yourself and have fun. Go and play. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.